Well, hi everybody, it's Doug. Not sure exactly where I'm going to use this. I might insert this into another video, but otherwise we'll do this as a separate video. So here we are in the middle of cleaning up this beautiful Yale iron body push key lock. I have the guts taken apart here, and a couple of things that I wanted to point out. So first of all, while I was looking at the pins, you can see this serration they've put on the regular pins. It's probably part of the technique that they use to make it, but makes these things difficult to pick, as others will tell you. But the other thing I found that was really interesting was this one. I don't know if that was a slip on the machining part, but you could see it actually has sort of a spooled section right along the bottom there. Kind of interesting. Like I said, may have just been a machining thing, but I was fascinated by that all the same. So I had some questions when I was rebuilding the Corbin about how it comes apart and such. And I just finished making this ad hoc key. I took a key from a different type of lock and filed the heck out of it to make this. Hopefully that'll work when it's all back together. But let's take a look at how this thing comes apart. On this side, this brass piece is meant to unscrew. Now that, at this moment, the shackle is still a permanent part of the lock. But watch what we find when we open this up. Hopefully we've got good focus. Obviously this comes out much harder normally, but I've left it loose. What you see inside there is this metal piece. It's got a mating hole for this knob on the end of that shackle hold piece, and this piece slides. So when I slide it to the right, there's a piece on the end that engages the shackle. Now that I've taken that out, the shackle slides free. And now that I've taken the shackle out, you could take a look inside and see how that piece actually sits in the opening and then moves out of the way. Really clever, and that actually provides a bit of spring action too. Because it's steel, it provides a bit of a springiness in raising the shackle. But either way, the other thing I wanted to show you was that I loaded the pins, 4 of them, in, and I carefully worked the key so that when it is in place, the pins, and this is a very ad hoc key, it wasn't quite right, but the pins will all sit smoothly in their chambers. Of course, it's hard to demonstrate that in this scenario because nothing sits right, but well, actually that looks about as bad as it's going to look. I can't demonstrate for anything. Okay, there we go. So you can see the pins are kind of sitting in their chambers. What I've done is I did a lot of testing inside. I actually assembled the lock. I have to turn it this way so that piece doesn't engage. So I put it together so that it is in locked position, and then made sure that when the key is in, if I can get it in, there we go. When it is in at the right location, we want to make sure that this still pops out. And I will tell you it's very, very clumsy right now, especially because I don't have the top pins in place to push down on those. But you'll have to trust me. It's out of place too. This is, like I said, it's an ad hoc key, so it doesn't even quite fit in the keyway. But either way, still working on the key. You can see that it started pulling out. I have to probably jiggle it, and I can't do that in this position. Either way, those are kind of the guts of your beautiful Yale Push Key lock. I'll probably do a second key. I just sort of use this as a test, a trial, to see if it could even be done. And, well, there we go. So, thanks for joining us. Hopefully, this will be a video all on its own, but you never know. I do plan on picking this one also, so even if I don't get the key out or to work exactly the way I expect it to, I do plan on doing a pick, and we'll see how things go with that. All right, we are back. So I have reassembled this lock, and it, after cleaning and reassembly, looks like brand new. After doing the vinegar bath and cleaning that whole thing off, and then the lighter fluid on the brass parts, it came out beautifully clean and needed a quick coating of oil. So I threw a little bit of just everyday oil on this iron so that it will not rust up on me again so quickly. You'll see that it is already open. I am not going to be doing a pick on this because I have found this with those really super serrated pins is a very, very hard pick. So like William Mansell had said on one of my videos, it's easier to shim. So what I actually had done was to insert a shim in that gap there and work the pins until the shim was able to get in there and I was able to get an open. Those of you that had commented on my last video with my Corbin, I had done a 180. So what had happened there was the pins are over here. I turned the core, and without a key in there, there's nothing to keep the pins from falling right into the keyway. So they went right in there, and that was not fun. And I heard the snap, and I thought, oh, what have I done? But all you do really is you just get a pick in there and press the key pins, driver pins back into place, and then it works fine. This one I have not done that, and I won't do it on, and I'm making sure that I don't let this fall back closed, because then I'll just have to pick or shim it once again. Now I did make a key, and I did my best to make sure that key fit all the pins. However, this key is not really the right length, and I believe I may have over shortened this one last one. So next time we'll get a good key going. Actually, Chris Capune has already offered, he has a spare that he's not using, and he'll be sending to me, so I will be able to basically rekey this to match the key he is offering. So looking forward to that. Thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you learned a little bit about the insides of these things from getting to see the whole unit taken apart and how it all stays together. Thank you everyone. Appreciate your time, and please do remember, like, subscribe, and comment. Love to hear what you got to say. Take care everyone. Have a good one.